everybody, my name's Diana. This is Diana Simplifies, and welcome to Storytime and Dollar Tree. So someday I am going to get back to declutter and Dollar Tree, but today I have a story for you. It's a personal story about me. If you're interested in that and you don't care about Dollar Tree, then just fast forward a little bit. The Dollar Tree is not going to take long. So I just got back from Dollar Tree, and I just have a few items I picked up, and some are rebuys, but I wanted to show you the cute stuff that I found that I had not seen before, just things I had wandered across while I was there. And yes, when I'm in there, I do browse, I do go up and down aisles just to kind of see what's new, what I haven't seen before. I watch Dollar Tree hauls, but sometimes that stuff is so slow getting to my stores, or sometimes I never see it. So I just like to go in there about once a week, just browse around. Sometimes I go further from my house and go to other ones, but this week I just stayed closer to home. Spencer and I had lunch, and then I ran over there, and then I had a prescription to pick up, and that's going to be part of story time. So anyway, hang on for that. But this is what I wandered across. It is so cute. It's at my store. It's so weird how they put some of the cutest stuff at the register. So if you're skipping the register, which I did for months because you don't know, be sure and check out all the areas, the end caps, everything around the registers. You may find something super cute that you might just want for you or for a kid, or a gift, whatever, for one of your kids, one of your grandkids, nieces, nephews, whoever. So the first thing I happened to wander across at the register were these cute little string lights. It's a 10 count. These happen to be kitty cats, and it's pink, and it's kind of hard to see, but it is 10 count string lights. I'm sorry, there is this nice glare. I don't think that's going to help, but anyway, 10 count. It says string lights. Now, I did read on here because I wanted to see what it said. So it's 3.6 feet for indoor use only, requires 2 AA, batteries not included. And so I'm going to put that up there in case you wanted to read exactly what I just said. You can see that. Okay, now this kind of stuff, now this is battery operated, so I think it would be okay. Hopefully there would not be an issue with the fire, but this kind of thing I would only be using while I'm at home, and most likely while I'm just sort of in the area in case there's some sort of problem and something decides to catch on fire. I don't know, because it is battery operated. I would hope it would be safe, but I did get 2 of them. I'm going to put them up in the kitchen because Sunshine is in my kitchen and she's my baby, as y'all know. And they also had, I actually thought it was a dog. It turned out it was a panda. So they had these in panda, and they also had these in unicorn. So if you don't care about cats, but you like pandas and unicorns, and I usually they have stuff in 4s, but they only had these 3 things. I looked through all of them. So, and they were on an end cap near the register at my store. Look, I don't know where they usually are, but anyway, that's where they were at my store. Very cute. And then I wandered at a different part of the store across these hooks. I've never tried these before, but they're kind of like the command hooks. I wanted something really small because, as you can see, these are so dainty. So I didn't want like a huge hook, and I wanted the clear. They also have the white. So they've got all size hooks. They've got clear hooks. They've got white hooks. They've got all sizes. Anything you could possibly want, they have there. And so I don't really know what brand this is. This just says 9 pieces, removable hooks, holds up to 0.2 pounds. And they show a key on a key ring. Is a key on a key ring 0.2 pounds? Maybe it is. Surely if they can hold that, then several of these will hold a couple of packages of these, because these don't seem heavy at all. So I thought that would be good to hang it up with. So hopefully that's all going to work and be cute. We've got a picture window in our kitchen, and I thought it'd be cute just to line it maybe around the top and maybe kind of hang down the sides just a little. I just thought it'd be cute. We actually have 2 windows in there. One is over the kitchen sink, so that's why I got 2, because I thought I might just want it over one, or I might string it across both. So we'll see how it goes. And if I ever get this done, maybe I can show you guys a picture. If it ever works out, it looks cute. If it doesn't look cute, you'll never hear about it again. So there you go. The next thing I wandered across was, I found some more kid books, and these were super cute. These are pop-up books, pop-up fairy tales. So it's a four different ones, Hansel and Gretel, and you see right there it says pop up. Isn't that a cute picture? And Little Red Riding Hood. I thought my little niece, if we get invited to another party or maybe Christmas, I could get these to my little niece. 7 White and the Dwarves, all very cute, and the 3 Little Pigs. I thought it was funny because it's all like little girl stories. Then we have the pigs thrown in here. So I guess you could give this to a boy, but I was just going to give them all to a girl. And so you can see, I did look through all of them just to make sure the pop-ups were working correctly. So you can see, there he is, he's huffing and he's puffing. and he's huffing and he's puffing some more. He's blowing something down there. He huffed and he puffed and he blew it down, right? And then here he is. He looks very happy with himself. And so, is that all? I think I missed one. Hang on. Yeah, here's the pigs. I missed the first one. Sometimes these little board books are hard to open. Okay, so there's that. So anyway, they're all very cute. So it was 4 of them again. And then, because that was not enough, I found this because I have the great niece, and then we also have we have the great niece. We also have the great nephew. And both of them just turned 1. So we've already had the parties for them, but I thought, well, for Christmas, or maybe, these would be fine for a 2-year-old or even a 3-year-old. So then I found pirate animals. Isn't this adorable? And so it just opens like this, and then it comes across here and opens. Whoops, too many. And then it comes across like this. Anyway, I just thought it was too fun. It says Fantabulous, because it's got tabs, I guess is why it's saying that. And this one, I can't really see them, so and then that one. So anyway, I thought that was cute, and they do have more. It says look for all 4. This is all I saw. It says look for all 4: animal, school, dollhouse, kitties, pirate animals, which is this one, and firehouse dogs. And honestly, I thought pirates, it just was adorable for a little boy. So I was happy that I found the pirates. I would have liked to see the other ones, but this is fine. And then I saw these 3, and I don't know if these come in 4s or just 3s, but like I said, a lot of times it is 4s. So things that bounce and, what does that say? Jump. Things that bounce and jump. It's backwards for me, forwards for you. Things that go together. And these are all board books. Things that are soft. So since this was by itself, I thought these would work for a boy. That's kind of girly looking, but I mean, he's going to be like 1 or 2 when I give it to him, right? So I thought these would be cute. And these are all just board books. Super cute. And it was just 3. So I don't know if that's the whole set. Doesn't really say. So those are cute. So that's the new stuff that I ran across. And then I just repurchased. I'm really into the Italian ice. Now that I'm finding out how much I love these, I wish I had bought the thing at Sam's. And I think there's only one store saying it has it, but it only has it for pickup, and it says you can't even have it delivered, which makes me wonder if it's even really in the store. I really, really wonder. So it's out of my way to drive over there. So I just picked up 2 more. I'm still seeing them. For a while, I wasn't seeing them at all. So when I'm seeing them, I'm picking them up. So there are 2 different flavors, and at this store they just had the green, but that's fine. I've been buying them, so I have a few. And then this was also a repurchase. I bought 3 of these. I do like this. In the yellow. I feel like this is a pretty good bargain at 64 ounces. That's huge. I was going to buy, by the time you see this, the sale will be over, but Kroger is having a deal where, one of those digital deals where you can use the coupon 5 times, and so you could get Purex bottles, and I want to say it was like 76 ounces, and it was $2.79. So 76 ounces, and this is 64 ounces for $125. I still think this is better. Now, I love Purex, so I would enjoy the Purex, but I'm using this. It's not bothering me. So I'm just not that picky. If you're brand loyal, this may not appeal to you at all, but I'm extremely frugal, extremely. Some things I would really spend on. This kind of stuff, I don't care. So it's doing the job for me. I'm having no problems with it. My clothes are clean. They smell clean. They look clean. I'm using the totally awesome stain remover. It's working. So I'm enjoying all this. Okay, that is it for the Dollar Tree haul. Now let's get into story time. So I have chronic sinus issues. There's a piece of fuzz or cat hair stuck to me. I'll get that fixed, and then we'll talk about this. I have chronic sinus issues. I feel like I have been sick since probably the 1st of May. I don't remember exactly when I started getting sick, but I feel like I was teetering on being sick for a couple of weeks before I ever contacted the ENT office. Now, I go in a couple times a year at the ENT's office, and I just have a regularly scheduled appointment so I can get my refills. They check me out, they just make sure everything's okay, and then I get my refills. For the year, because I'm on, because I have a chronic problem, I'm on medication all the time, and one of them is a compounded med, and it's, $45 a month. That's actually cheap for compounded meds, but anyway, $45 a month. I have to use this compounded sinus rinse. So, somewhere around May, I think, I decided to finally call. And what happens is, it's not super obvious that I'm sick. Like right now, can you tell that I'm sick? I actually do have a bacterial infection right now, and I've had it since sometime in May. So it took me a while to kind of figure it out, but finally I was so tired, and that's kind of what clues me in. If I'm at work and like normally I have enough energy to get through the day at work, and I have a very physical job. I clean houses. It is quite physical, but I've done this for a long time. So I've done it over 20. I think I'm now starting into 24 years. So totally, since 1999 I've been doing this, and so I know how to pace myself. I know how to do it. But if I'm dragging real bad toward the end, that finally clues me in something isn't right. And at one point I even told one of my friends, I think I have a urinary tract infection, because I was having some issues with that as well. That's kind of a chronic issue I have too. So it's kind of hard for me to know, am I having that, or is it just my chronic issue that I have all the time that's just ongoing? So, a little TMI there, but I do have some bladder issues, and I've had them since my 20s, so it's nothing new. So it's just something I have to deal with. But anyway, I was just dragging and so tired, but the funny thing was my sinuses weren't really bothering me, so I was like, well, it must be a UTI. That must be what it is. No. Nope, that's not what it was. The whole time it's been a sinus infection, so it may have actually started in April. It might have started in April. So I finally figured out what was going on. I called the ENT office, because when you go, really you only have to go once a year, but I go twice a year because I have so many issues. When you go once or twice a year, they call you in something the first time. So they called me in something. They called me the wrong milligram. I happened to have something on hand that was able to boost it to the right milligram. I just get really tired of dealing with them because they keep calling me in the wrong milligrams. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if this is some new thing they're doing, but they're calling me in too few milligrams. And I even said to the pharmacist, is this normal? And she's like, no. So I don't know what is the deal. The ENT that I go to has a nurse that I have issues. I just have issues with her. I don't care for her. I do not really like her. I'm as nice as I can be, but I do not care for her. There's been a problem ever since I had to start dealing with her, which has been a couple years. The before lady was great, never had any issues. This lady, lots of issues. So they called me in the one thing. I supplemented it with something I had, and it was the same drug. I happened to have the same thing. I supplemented, so I got the full milligrams for plenty of days. It should have been done. I have such a chronic problem, it's not always done the first time. So I called back over there. Normally they won't do this, but this was, if you'll remember, when I was getting ready to leave Ranger overnight. We just left in one night, but we went out of town. We had a funeral we had to attend, a memorial service for my uncle who passed away months ago. But the service was not till the 1st of June, so I was still sick. 1st of June, still sick. It might have been then, was it the 9th, or it was like the 10th? So sick all of May, probably sick in April, also sick in June. So I think that was the 10th. So like the 8th or the 9th, I called and I'm like, I'm desperate. And she's always saying, my nurse practitioner is very sweet. She's always saying, if you need anything, you just let me know. So I'm like, I need something. You always say, let you know, I need something. And I said, I'm going out of town. I still do not feel like I'm well. I'm still just dragging. I don't feel right. I just don't think I'm well. So she did call me in 2 full weeks. Like normally that's what I would ask. I asked for 500 milligrams or whatever it is, depending on the drug, obviously. But the drugs that I ask for, it's usually 500 milligrams. And I asked for 2 weeks. So I will actually get over it because it takes me more than 10 days or whatever. So she did give me the 500 milligrams. She gave me the 2 full weeks. I went on the trip. I felt okay. I was doing okay. As I was getting near the time for the 2 weeks to be up, I was not feeling right. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm still not right. Unfortunately, instead of calling right away when I'm realizing this is not right, I'm still not right, I waited a little bit. I'm really bad about not wanting to make phone calls. So I waited a little bit. I finally called, and they're like, she's out of town. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Because once they called you in once, they usually don't call it in. They'd already called it twice. They were definitely not calling me anything else. So she says, it's going to be 3 weeks before you can see her. 3 weeks? Really? So normally I can get in within that week. So like if I called on a Monday, I would be in by Thursday. So 3 weeks is just, I was like, what is happening? 3 weeks. I've never even heard of this with her. I've never heard of this. So the lady who I do not care for, that I was on the phone with, she says, well, just see your PCP. Okay, no one can tell I'm sick. Can any of you tell I'm sick? Does anybody have any clue I'm sick? I know I'm sick because my whole face from here over, this whole thing hurts all the time. Now I haven't been having headaches lately, but I was having headaches up here. This whole thing felt like, at this point in my life, this whole thing felt like concrete, just from here over. This side had cleared up, which was great. So this side has felt great for 2 months. It's all been cleared, probably 2.5 months, cleared up a long time ago. Fine. This side, no, not cleared up. So I was like, what's the point of going to my PCP? They don't know anything's wrong with me. They have never been able to tell anything's wrong with me. They just tell me I'm fine and pat me on the head and send me on my way. Well, I ended up calling them. My nurse practitioner was out of town too. Yay, the same week. You don't ever want to be sick in July. This is what I figured out. You don't want to be sick in June, end of June or July. Everybody's on vacation then. So I was trying to get in, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Everybody's on vacation. My 2 nurse practitioners that I rely on for everything, they're out of town at the same time. So they got me in with another nurse practitioner. I've never seen her before. I was like, this is great. This is probably not going to work out well for me. However, there is this nasal spray that's compounded. It's not cheap. It's like $60-something. I've used it before. It's very, very helpful, and it is supposed to make you well. Unfortunately, it was the wrong drug. So what I found out today was it was the wrong drug. But the nurse practitioner at the PCP office said she would... That's the internist. She would call it in for me. I've had it before. They've called it in for me at that office before. So even though it's something I get from the ENT office, they have filled it before. So she said she would fill it. Great. And then I had an ENT visit with another ENT I've never been with before, but been seen by before. Never heard of the lady. It's also a nurse practitioner. Never heard of her. Never seen her. She had good reviews. So I could get in very quickly. So within that same week, so I got in with this lady like on a Monday. I was in with the other ENT nurse practitioner on that Thursday. This was weeks ago. This was like a month ago that this was all happening. The nasal spray, thankfully, it really helped. The nurse practitioner at the other ENT office I've never been to, she gave me a different type of nasal spray that has steroids in it. Also, the antibiotic nasal spray that was compounded has steroids in it. So my nurse practitioner at my ENT's office freaked out. She's like, why were they giving you all these extra steroids? I'm like, I don't know. Probably because they could tell. She did say she could tell I was sick. She did that. They do the thing up your nose. They numb you. They do the thing up your nose. It can see way back here. And she said she could tell something was for sure going on. She gave me an antibiotic. Still, it was the wrong one. Still the wrong antibiotic. She only gave me 7 days. I really didn't want to take it because it's never worked for me ever. Never. It was augmentin. If you don't know, it tears your stomach up. I did not want to take it. There was a reason. Where was I going? I was going somewhere, and I was like, oh, it was July 4th. I was like, I don't want to be sick all July 4th because I'm taking augmentin. So this was all happening right around July 4th. So I went and picked it up. The other nurse practitioner, at the internist office, she had given me a steroid pack. I did not tell her, but I can't take steroids. If I was dying, if I was in the hospital, if I was on my last breath or whatever, I would take them, but just on a day-to-day basis, I'm not taking them. I have an infection. I know it's an infection. A steroid is not going to fix that. So I just didn't argue with her because they don't like to be argued with. So I said, sure, that's fine. I'll take it. And I did. I went and picked it up. I did not take it. The other lady gave me the augmentin, and I was like, sure, that's great. I get there, and I find it's a week. 7 days of augmentin. I'm like, that's not going to fix anything. I've been sick at this point for 2.5 months at least. I'm like, 7 days. 7 days not going to fix it. And I don't like augmentin, and I've got this nasal spray that's got an antibiotic and a steroid, so I'm like, I'm just going to keep. And I was actually better. This compounded med, I was actually better. So I was like, I'm just going to put that antibiotic to the side. I might need it for something, but I don't need it right now. 7 days isn't going to fix it. And I'm just going to take the compounded nasal spray, the antibiotic and the steroid. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to wait. Oh, and then she gave me a new nasal spray that was also steroid. And by the way, I was better. Between those 2 nasal sprays, I was better. I wasn't 100%. I wasn't well. This is still stopped up. I can hear it. I can still hear that there's an issue. No one else can hear it. Everybody else thinks I sound great. Everything's fine. It's like I can't sing. I can't sing properly. Like, I'm a singer. I can tell it's not fixed. It's not right. So, but I'm not going to argue with these people. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm being as nice as I know how to be. I just need whatever. I'm just going to wait for my ENT visit of the woman who actually knows what she's doing, and she knows me, and she understands my history, that I do not get well from this stuff. So finally, 3 weeks later, I finally got to see her. By then it was, I guess, 2.5 weeks. finally get in to see her because it was a 3-week wait. So I saw her last week. They called me today with the results. So I saw her, did I see her Tuesday of last week, or was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. But she told me she would, in fact, it might have been, I think maybe it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. She told me she would let me know this Monday. No. And I never did hear from them, but I was going to call today, but I hadn't done it yet. And then finally they called me. And then I had to call them back because they won't just leave just leave a message. Just leave a message. But I guess HIPAA, they won't do that. So I had to call them back. And when I left the message, I said, look, if it didn't show up anything, I want a CT scan because it's obvious I am not well. And if it's stuck up here, then maybe the culture didn't work. But anyway, they did a culture, which is, if you don't know, they stick this swab thing up your nose. It's kind of like, it's a little bit like the COVID test, but they stick the swab, and she didn't hurt me, but it was numb, so I couldn't tell. But she dug around there pretty good, and I could tell she was and this is where it's hurting, it's right here. I could tell she was way up in there. Thank the Lord, because I wanted to show up something at this point. I'm so sick of this, dealing with this. I'm so sick of it. So I get the results today. And I'd even said to the lady in the message, look, if it didn't show up anything, I want a CT scan. Because I'm so sick of this. And I didn't say that, but I was like, I just want a CT scan. Because they had said, you may have to do that. And I'm like, if this didn't show up anything, we are getting that. I'm so tired of this. So she called me back and she said, yes, it showed up. You do have a bacterial infection. Thank you. That's what I've been telling you. Yes, I know. It's no secret to me. I have a bacterial infection, okay? I knew it. It's not a virus. It's been going on for months, okay? Couldn't possibly be a virus. Now, the other thing they were looking for is sometimes if it doesn't clear up, it's because it's a fungal infection. So that's what she had said. We're going to do this and see if possibly you have a fungal infection. And I actually did not think I did. I thought it was the same thing I've had the whole time. I knew I had an infection before. I knew it wasn't. I've never had fungal, but I think it would be enough different that I would notice a difference. And it's the same thing I always have. So I was like, well, you can check for that, but I just wanted to show up something, whatever, but something. And so anyway, it did. And she said doxycycline is what is going to treat it. And so I just pick up the doxycycline, and it's 3 weeks. 3 weeks of doxycycline. So see, she knows that I'm sick. She knows this has been going on for months, and she knows she needs to hit it hard. So that's my story time. I am finally getting treated with the correct drug, only because she listened to me and she did the swab. And the thing I forgot to tell you was when I went to see her, that nurse, I don't think she's a real nurse, but anyway, that's what they call these people. She's a nurse, whatever. I would call her a medical tech. But anyway, whatever she is, maybe she's an LPN, I don't know. But, so she could be a nurse. She said to me, because see, my head, it hasn't been hurting the last couple of weeks, which is interesting, isn't it? Or it hasn't this week, and not much of last week. But the day I went in, it hurt. So last Tuesday, it hurt. But it's hurting right here. So everything that's happening is on this side. So my head was hurting here. My face is hurting right here. I cannot breathe over here. You know, how obvious is it if you can't breathe? Something's going on. There's a reason. But see, she even did the thing and looked, and she's like, oh, it all looks very clear. How could it possibly look clear? I cannot breathe. It feels like something is clamped onto my sinus. It hurts all the time. So anyway, but what she said to me, what that nurse, whatever she is, said to me was, do you have migraines? And I said, I had migraines. Had in the past. I really don't have them anymore, but it was like a hormonal thing, and I'm not really having them. Sometimes I do have headaches, but no, not like this. But this is a sinus headache. I can tell. It's right here. And she goes, you're just having migraines. You know, migraines change over time. You're just having migraines. And I go, I was pretty dope. It's not a migraine, okay? It isn't a migraine, okay? One of the ways I know it's not a migraine is because I have migraine medication, and if it doesn't really touch it, that's a good sign it's a sinus infection. That's what that is. It's a sinus headache that's not being touched by your migraine meds, because guess what? It's not a migraine. So anyway, that's my little rant for today. I can't believe it's been this many months to figure out what exactly is going on with me, but I'm just thankful that I feel this good. I feel as good as I do. I've been able to do videos, which, I mean, nobody here was going to drop dead if I didn't do a video, but I have been able to, I've done my videos ahead. I've done everything ahead. I've been dealing with a very sick mom, you know, my mother. She's doing much better, by the way. Just saw her yet. I saw her twice this week. She's much, much better. But, you know, there's just a lot of issues there. And I need to be strong, healthy, and at my best to be running back and forth to Jackson all the time. I don't need to be sick, having what feels like a migraine but isn't a migraine. It isn't responding to medicine. I don't really need that going on while I'm having to drive back and forth and do all this. So it's just been very unfortunate timing. Unfortunate that it all was going on during my uncle's memorial service, and the one time I get to go out of town, this was going on. But I'm just thankful that I felt okay during while we were gone. Nobody knew I was sick. Nobody could tell, and really nobody's been able to tell I've been sick. I can tell just because I know the signs and symptoms. But anyway, I hope none of you have sinus and issues that just kind of are under the what my doctor calls it, floating under the radar, flying under the radar. It's like, yeah, exactly. And then you try to tell them, yeah, I'm the one whose sinus infections fly under the radar, and they're like, oh no, you're fine, you're really not sick. So I was thankful that she listened to me. I was thankful that she took the, instead of doing the CT scan, although I think that would have showed up too, but this way at least we know which drug treated it. So I'm going to start asking for that, and I hope and pray that when I start asking for it, that they'll go ahead and do it, because I have this issue. This isn't the first time this has happened where I've been sick for a long, ridiculous, extended amount of time, but it's the first culture I've ever had. So that's going to be something I'm going to stick in my back pocket and use from now on. So anyway, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you have a great day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.